Morning, how you making out? I'm doing all right. We're back here with another Earl and Murray pig tiller video. It's going to be a recap, a long form video, a recap of all the work they've done for us here. So I hope you enjoy the video today. My brother's going to walk you through all the progress that Earl made along the way.
So last September we had the idea of getting some pigs to till our existing garden. Everything was dying down. I had a lot of root vegetables left in the garden, and I was like, that's going to be a mess for next year. So I thought, well, last summer we were given some electric fence and a fencer by a local, thanks Trevor. So that put in my head the idea of getting some pigs for the fall, maybe to till up our garden and prepare it for next year. So we went ahead and did it, and I'm just going to show you a few things that we had to do to get it set up. So at first, we built a little shelter for them. It's about 7 by 5, just some stuff we had laying around. I'll show you inside. They may be in here. Sounds like they're in here. Hey boys. Hey boys. Hey boys. So what we done was we always keep straw in here, and just in case it's cold, and we were intending on keeping them into the winter, maybe into the new year a little bit, which we are now. We're in January now. So I built the door off to the side just in case we got a freak snowstorm, and I built it big enough so that if it did snow, we did get a nor'easter, that I could block the door off, and it was big enough to hold them in here over the storm. They're curious. So I just want to show you, like, I've only put straw in here 3 times, and you can see the bed that they make. This is their bed over here. They pack it down, and this is where they sleep. I've never cleaned this since we've had them, so it's been since September till January, so it's been, what, 4 months? And there's no mess in here. Pigs are very clean where they sleep. You can see over here, this is the only dirt that they've got over on this side, and that's only because of the mud. As you'll see later, the mud that's dragged in, but where they sleep, you can see it's quite clean. They keep it quite clean, and they keep it burrowed out and nested up so that they're warm at night. Oh no, boy. Oh, no, boy.
Morning, how you making out? Doing all right? Got a video for this morning. We got trying another experiment here on the farm. We've got a section of garden here that we'd like tilled up for next year, so we got some people, we got some critters to help us. These are the critters we're hoping does our tilling for us. This is their first day out. I just wanted to do a little video to give you a before and after shot of what we're hoping is tilled up. So this is what it looks like before. All this section here. We got it surrounded by electric fence. Hopefully that keeps the pigs in. So in a month or two, I'll do another video to see how they did. And hopefully the pigs are a lot bigger and they'll be ready to eat at that time too. So do your job, piggies. Eat lots and till things up. See you later.
So we've heard in the past that the best way to keep pigs in is electric fence. Our first go, we did a 25 by 100 foot section of our garden, which we had beets and turnip and parsnips, a lot of root vegetables. We had kale, we had a lot of leftover rotten tomatoes that were still on the vine, just a lot of different veggies. So we did only part of our garden, because we said, well, it may take a long time to get it all done. So we only did a 25 by 100 foot, and we did it with electric. And you can see here, I may have went overboard the first go around. We put the first strand about 5 inches, the second strand about 10 inches, and the third about 15 inches. We had some leftover from when I tried to do electric fence on goats, which doesn't work. I had some leftover fence posts, just plastic you can stick in the ground easy, and there's different spaces for your wire. And other than that, I bought some fence insulators and just stuck some wooden posts in the ground and used them. So it was quite a cheap way to get set up, not a lot of cost. And the electric fence, once they get burnt once, They're good. Like they grind themselves so much with their hooves that when they touch that wire, it's a good ground, and they get burnt, and they will not go back. They do not like the sensation of being electrocuted or maybe you want to cut that out.
Zapped.
Zapped. We'll say zapped. So it does a very good job.
Here's an update on how the pigs are doing, tilling up the ground. This is a week in. It's kind of interesting to see what you see here. They're starting to do the tilling right up next to the electric fence. I don't know if that's on purpose or if they're trying to ground the wire or what, but that's where they started. And it's all the way around the perimeter. They've started tilling. So maybe they're smart, maybe they're going from the outside in. We'll see how it goes. Just wanted to give you an update how the pigs are doing. They're doing a good job tilling. Keep it up, buddies.
So luckily there was a local couple that's only like 2-minute drive away from here who had some pigs for sale, heritage breed pigs. These guys are around 3/4, I think she said 3/4 Berkshire and 1/4 Cooney. So they're heritage pigs. You can see they grow their hair. And these pigs, unlike the commercial pink pigs, these guys can stay out in cold weather and do quite well, as long as you have a building that's dry, that stays dry and stays warm. They'll do all right. So I had planned on keeping them into the new year in January before they went off to freezer camp. When I did buy them, they were bought as uncastrated boys, so they do have their their nuts on them. So, and I'm not a vet, so I didn't try to castrate them myself. That wasn't what I didn't want to try that. So the boars, when they're around 6 months to 7 months old, they will get a taint. They'll start to mature, and they'll start to get a taint. So the 6 months is almost up, so these guys are soon going to be no more, I'm afraid to say. My mother doesn't like the idea of that. She's grown attached to them, so is my brother, and so is the guys at the farm. But unless someone wants to buy them for breeders, they have to go soon.
2, 1. Good afternoon. How are you making out? I'm doing all right. Here's another weekly update on how the pig tillers are doing. Here's what they're up to at the moment. You can see there, up near their pen, they're just rooting away. They're doing a good job up on this end, as you can see. Doing a good job tilling all the way around. You notice anything else there? This stuff right here? It seems that pig aren't a big fan of kale. They've left that. I don't know if they're leaving the stuff they really like to the end, but I don't think that's how pig work. They usually eat what they like first. So I'm thinking that pigs aren't a big fan of kale, but they're still doing a good job tilling. They'll get to that. Hopefully they'll get to that section eventually. Here's one last look at how the pig tillers are doing. Good job, guys.
So like I said, the first fence we put up around 25 foot wide and 100 foot long was a part of our garden last year where we had kept most of the root vegetables, parsnips, turnips and stuff such like that, and some corn and beans and tomatoes. And I think Corey is going to insert some shorts that we done, because we did a weekly progress report on how they did every week after we put them in, and it was amazing how they started around the outside, flipping up the sod, worked their way into the middle. I think it was 4 weeks, and they had a 25 by 100 foot piece of ground tilled up, and they were getting bored with it. So after the 4 weeks, what we done, we had another piece of garden off to the left here. So we connected it to another piece of our garden. This piece here we had put rhubarb in this summer, so we had to make a jut around it. Then we made a little connecting to another 25 by 100 piece, and that took, I think, even less time than the first piece. So within 2 months they had done a 50 by 100 foot patch of ground that was ready to go for next year. So these pigs were very busy. They had a lot of ground to cover, and they did it in a short time. The name of the pigs are Murray and Earl, and we had a local guy come around here one day, and we said, well, what's their names? And we said, well, they don't have any names. So he said, well, I think a good name would be Murray and Earl. And my father-in-law's name is Earl, and that's who he was named. One of them was named after. They used to raise pigs years ago, and so he said, well, Murray and Earl's a good name, and it worked out good because these pigs, like their namesakes, are hard workers and like to eat. So shout out to Murray and Earl. They are very hard workers, and that's why they're named as such.
Good afternoon. How you making out? Doing all right? Back here with another pig tiller update. Show you the progress they've made. I'm here in the middle of the perimeter, the middle of the fence here. I'm gonna go around and show you how they're doing. Doing good down there at that end. I'd say they got about 80% of it tilled up, maybe even a little more. A lot of that grass you see on top there, they've actually rooted it. It's just laying there. You could pick it up and throw it away. There's no roots. It's just laying there. As you can see here, they've even gone after the kale. It took them a while, but they finally went after her. Doing a good job. That's 3 full weeks they've been out. So you can see how good they are at what they're doing. I'll give you a little look at Murray and Earl here before we go. Keep rooting, Murray and Earl.
Woo! Go Murray! Go Earl! Go Earl!
I see what you did there.
So what these guys have done for the last few months, as you can see, they've dug up and tilled up. This spot here had some corn stalks in it that are, you know, if you garden it, they're the next year that can be a little nasty when you go to plant. So they've dug up the corn stalks. They dug up some of the nastier weeds. We have some weeds here that have a deep, thick root stalk. I'm not sure what they're called. Maybe a hogweed, maybe. I'm not sure what they are, but they go down deep and they're hard to get out. But these guys here, they will dig down. You can see them rooting, and they'll root around that, and they love the taste of them, and they'll chomp on it, and they go right down and get the base of that root. So hopefully next year we won't see any of it. You can see here that I've tilled this garden for the last 2 years and thought I had all the rocks out of them. They will bring up any rocks that they can get their hands on. It'll make it easier next spring to pick, which is great, but they found rocks that I didn't think we had. I'm going to show you another one of the best reasons to keep pigs is right here. As they eat, they fertilize, and you can see their manure scattered throughout the garden. Pigs typically like to poop in the same spot multiple times, so some places will be fertilized more than others, but that's okay. But you can see, yeah, they've done a good job. They've cleared it up. They'll bring up some of the rocks. I'll show you here near the fence. They like working around the fence first, and what they do is I think you'll see in one of the shorts that Corey might put up, that they roll the sod up along the fencing, the electric fence first. I don't know if that's because that's just the way they work, around the outsides first, or they were trying to short out the electric fence. But when they start, one thing you will have to do is that as they roll that up, you're going to have to keep that sod and that dirt away off your fence so it won't get grounded. And you can see here we've had to push some back for the last 3 months as they keep rooting and trying to push it up against the fence.
Good afternoon. How you making out? Doing all right? We're back here in another update on how Earl and Murray, the pig tillers, are doing. Those who have been following along can see we put them in a new section here about a week and a half ago, and they got her already over 75% done, I would say. You can see behind me. I'll do a 360 around here. As you can see, a little bit of grass on top like before, just dried up. They've uprooted it, so it's just laying there. There you can see Earl and Murray in the background. We believe in rewarding hard work here at the farm, so we gave the pigs a little treat today. Some pumpkin and some apples. They're having a good time. Way to go, Earl and Murray. Keep her up. So we'll give you another look at the boys and congratulate them on a job well done. They're getting quite friendly now. They were a little skittish at first, but now you can come up and rub them. Unfortunately, their days may be numbered, but they've done their job, and thank them for it. I think even next spring, I think I'm going to get a piece. I've got a piece at my own house. Then I think I'm going to get a couple of boys or a couple of pigs to come till up a nasty spot at my place to start a garden as well. They put in the work, and those noses are hard, and they can move. They can move things that you wouldn't believe they could move. So we hope you've enjoyed watching Earl and Murray over these past few months. Got to know them and see what they can do and what work they can put in for you. If you need a piece of ground tilled for a garden and don't have the equipment or can't afford the equipment or don't have anybody that has a tiller and stuff, this is the way to go. And then in the end, you get to enjoy some bacon and some ham.